What is up, everybody? This is Craig Peters here. It is officially 2020, so you know what that means. New year, new gear. So the gear, in fact, that we're going to be talking about today is the Kali Audio IN-8s. They didn't come out this year. I've actually had them for a few months or so, maybe a couple months. And I've just been really trying to dive into them and really get a feel for them, because if you've been following this channel, you'll see that I've reviewed the LP6s, which is the first studio monitors that they came out with. And then I also reviewed the LP8s, which are the 8-inch versions of the LP6s. And now they've recently come out with the IN-8s, which is a three-way monitor built off a Coaxial Design. And they honestly, it takes the LP8s to a whole nother level, just because you have so much more separation as far as like the mid, between the low, mid, and the high frequencies. So it just really makes a big difference as far as adding to that clarity. So one of my first things that I noticed, especially since using the LP6s, is that the Kali Audio studio monitors just have a really great stereo field and a really great stereo imaging. I feel like you can really hear a lot of depth, especially when you're listening to more older records or records that were, mixed on consoles and that sort of thing. Like, you can really hear that sort of like depth. And that's one of the things that I really like, is that it almost kind of makes you feel like you're in a space when you're mixing. And with the IN-8s, it's even better, because now that you have the mid driver and the tweeter sort of in that coaxial form, and having a separate power source for that, I really feel that you definitely get a lot more separation in the mids, which is, I think, the only thing that was lacking from the LP6s and the LP8s. I mean, those are really great as well, but I feel like now with the three-way design, it's just taken that sort of original clarity that came from those and just sort of like upped it even more. So that's what I really like about them. And the fact that they're actually not that much more expensive. I mean, they're a little bit more expensive, but honestly, if you want that a lot more clarity, but still having the low end and the high end that you get from the LP6s and the LP8s, you get all that. But it's just, like I said, it's taken that sort of design and just stepping it up to another level. So like I said, the way it's designed, it's a coaxial design. I'm not an expert when it comes to three-way monitors. A friend of mine was kind of describing it a little bit, and I remember when I was talking about these monitors to him, he was asking if they were coaxial. And basically what it is you have the mid driver and the tweeter in the same area, so it's not separated. So everything that you're getting from where the tweeter normally is, you're getting those mid frequencies too. And you get a lot more separation of the mids and the low end, which is really awesome. And like the LP6s and the LP8s, these are front ported as well. So if you're in a small room, you don't really have the bass ports sort of blasting out into the corners and just causing all kinds of crazy stuff. And especially in combination with the EQ boundary controls in the back, you can even shape it even more to sort of fit your room and do that sort of thing. And if you even combined this with something like the SonarWorks Reference 4 software, you could even dial it in even more. I haven't actually had a chance to play with that software yet, but I've heard some people combining it and getting some really awesome results. So having that sort of low end, being able to have it front ported in a room is definitely an important thing to look out for. For all of you who are similar to me, doing a lot of your work in a home studio, I'm actually working in a little bit of a bigger room than I used to. But it definitely helps, especially with a little bit of treatment, depending on if your room is just bare walled. You definitely want to treat your room. There's, sort of no exception for that. It's definitely going to be a part of getting a little bit more of a focused sound with your studio monitors. So that's definitely something you don't want to forget. The only thing about the IN-8s that I was a little bit I wasn't sure about at first, was that these actually have a sleep mode. So right now you can see that the speakers have the little orange light going, and what that means is basically the speakers go into sleep mode. So basically, like you'll notice it when it happens. It kind of freaked me out at first, because I didn't know that that was actually a feature. Because you can hear a little bit of sound from the speakers being on, but once it goes into sleep mode, it just goes dead quiet. And I was kind of like, oh, like what happened? And then I was playing some audio, and I think the volume was low on my interface, but as I turned it up, all of a sudden the speakers kind of woke up. So I was like, oh, okay. So it's just a feature. I'm sure there's a reason why. I don't remember exactly why it was that they're doing that, but it's kind of cool. Like if you tend to just forget to turn your studio monitors off and they just kind of go to sleep on their own. So that's sort of cool. I wish there was an option to be able to kind of turn that off. Like if you want to have it in sleep mode, that would have been cool. So I mean, that's the only sort of, I would say, slight negative as far as the studio monitors, but that's more of like a picky preference thing. But I think probably it's better off that there is a sleep mode, because knowing me, I'll probably end up forgetting and just walking out of the room and leaving them on. So, you know, it really depends on your preference, but yeah, that is something that does come with the speaker. So the price point for these monitors is $399 per speaker, so it's around not, you know, a little under $800 for the pair. And honestly, there's some studio monitors that try to sort of do the same thing with the three-way monitor that go even more than, you know, for the price of two for one speaker. So I'm honestly like kind of blown away at the price point for how good that these monitors sound. Honestly, I think for me, like having these, I feel like it really allows me to kind of take my mix from the studio into my car and honestly be pretty damn close. I've never really had that with other studio monitors, so that's why I always keep coming back to Cali. And none of these videos are sponsored or paid for. Like honestly, like I love the people, I love the company, I love the quality of the products. It's honestly like you can really tell the heart and care that they put into their products. And especially of the price point, because, you know, it's all about sort of letting people have the tools to, you know, create the sort of mixes or, you know, or music that they hear in their head. You know, it's kind of like Sound Iron, you know, we do the same thing, you know, trying to really offer great sounding quality virtual instruments at a price where, you know, anyone can just kind of, you know, for a few bucks, get an instrument and start making some cool stuff. So I definitely connect with them on that level. I really respect that, and I think that's a really awesome quality that the company has. And you know, I just really like the stuff. Like everyone I've ever recommended Kali Audio to, honestly, I get them messaging me back saying, "Man, thank you so much for, you know, for telling me about these, because, you know, the price is really good, and also like they really like the speakers." So you know, it speaks for themselves. I mean, for how much time they've been out and just kind of doing their thing, like they've been killing it. So I definitely, you know, stoked on them. Still really excited to see what they have in the future. They're just going to keep on, you know, pushing great stuff, I'm sure. So if you want to get any more info, make sure to go to caliaudio.com, check out the IN-8s, even, you know, check out the LP6s and the LP8s. If, let's say, maybe you feel like a three-way monitor is a little bit too much for you at this point, you know, the LP6s are a really good price point. You know, definitely good for anybody who is, you know, just getting out or just getting started with mixing or doing music or music production from home. I honestly cannot recommend them enough. So caliaudio.com, check them out. We're actually going to be having some LP6s at the Sound Iron NAMM booth. So if you guys want to check out some cool virtual instruments and you guys want to check out some monitors, hang out, say what's up, definitely do that as well. I'll have all the info in the description too. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in the next video. Have a happy 2020, and yeah, see you then. Take care.